Hola, welcome back to my channel. My name's Ziete. This is the second reading and the second video in this channel. Um, Today I'm sharing with you a reading around our shadow side and how to integrate it. And I got 3 piles for you. I've already laid out the cards, they're separated, and it's just a matter of you choosing the pile. So the first pile we got sal rosa, pink salt, Himalayan salt. So the second pile is ajonjoli rojo, which is red sesame seeds. And then the third pile is pepperoncini, which is, that like chili flakes that you add to pizza and stuff. The smoke, we got the incense going. And just want to take a moment, close my eyes, set my intentions. Thank you, spirits, ancestors, guides that are guiding me towards love. Thank you so much for being here today and for allowing me to be a channel through which information flows with the permission of whoever is watching this reading, for them to share with me and through me their own wisdom. Thank you, guides, spirits, ancestors, for redirecting me towards love and allowing me to share that through this reading with anyone who may be watching and connecting. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna start with pile number 1, sal rosa. Let me just move this and fit out of the way. So the way in which I'm gonna do this is with 2 sections. So you can see a bit more. We got these 2 piles. This first pile is basically laying out the shadow side. And by shadow side, what I mean today is those aspects of ourselves that we tend to keep hidden even from ourselves because we are subscribing to this idea of good, bad morality. And sometimes, in an effort to be a good person, we hide aspects of ourselves that are actually harming us and harming others. So, here, what we aim to do is expose that shadow side, and then how to integrate on the second part of the reading, how to integrate that shadow side. How do we stop rejecting those aspects of ourselves and almost like separating them as if they weren't living within us as well? We want to give them some space to speak to us and share with us what is important and valuable information that they carry for us to integrate so that we may feel whole and at peace within ourselves and with our emotions and expressions. So let's get started. So in the first part, laying out the shadow side, we got some tarot cards. We got the Emperor. The Emperor showed up yesterday in a different deck. The Emperor. Then we got the 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, and there's a hidden judgment behind it. Interesting. Oh, okay. So we got the 5 of Pentacles and the Judgment with the Emperor. And then the last one, we got the Queen of Hearts, so the Queen of Cups. And the phrase we got is, you are the joy. Eres la alegría. We actually got this phrase yesterday. So immediately what I'm getting, it's almost like we only trust ourselves to be right. We only trust ourselves to know what joy should look like, what love should feel like. We have developed, and this ties into the reading yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, maybe you might want to. But this ties into that feeling of you were once just this Queen of Cups, um, someone that maybe felt so confident and carried their emotions like proudly, openly, without hiding, feeling like that truthful communication of emotion, no matter how unstable or not pretty it may be, how desperate, you're someone who was willing to express themselves without fear. And it's almost like then the Five of Pentacles kind of comes in. And the Five of Pentacles, oftentimes it's like you got some cups that are spilled, but there's two cups still standing. But one is just focused on the cups that have spilled, and you can't even value, recognize, pay attention to, find important the fact that there's still two cups standing. So I feel it's almost like you gave these cups to people you trusted or hope that would cherish it, under the assumption that they would act in ways that you would act towards them. And since there wasn't a reciprocation and maybe even something that felt like cruelty to you coming from their own patterns and ways of responding and defending, that same heart that you shared with them, there was this feeling of like the lack of appreciation that then becomes a little muddled and then starts to confuse us as to our own value, just because someone else is not recognizing it in the way that we wish they did. So then some cups fall, some cups are still standing, but we can't even notice that. And we're more focused on preventing or on remembering the cups that have spilled, the pain surrounding those situations. We're more trapped there than focused on enjoying and doing what we will with the cups that are still standing. So then it's like this judgment comes in where it's like you are the you know how love should be expressed, and you know what love isn't. And sometimes because people don't act in ways that you want them to or that feel right to you, then we judge them and we vilify them and we treat them or frame them as if they were bad or as if we were better than them or as if we knew how to be loving and they didn't. But sometimes people just have almost like opposite triggers to us, right? So if to us, um, us expressing our feelings so intensely and them not responding at all or in the ways that we want to, if that triggers us, maybe on the flip side, such an intense expression of feeling is actually like triggering, scary, to the other person for various reasons, right? So, yeah, so it's almost like we have positioned ourselves in the place where we decide what is love and what isn't, what is a good and a bad expression. And we have decided that only we know what joy is, only we know what love is. And there's this very harsh, almost like, yeah, we know those cups are standing there, and there's a bigger emphasis on protecting those cups and not letting anyone get near them, on, you know, um, preventing any similarities to experiences you've had in the past. There's a bigger focus on no one touching the cup than on you being like, oh fuck, well that happened. I have these cups still and I'm gonna share them. I'm gonna share with you. I have enough cups to share, to drink, to enjoy, to bathe in, whatever it is that you choose to do with those cups, right? So it seems like that is what's happening. There's this like rigidity. There's this armor, um, something trying to protect those emotions, but in protecting those cups, we have stopped using them. We've overly focused on the protection and not on the experience, the enjoyment. That's some real stuff right there. And then we got how to integrate the shadow sign. So we got these cards from Don Lauro. They're beautiful. This one says, Chapito Barnett. Caminar como el anciano es una meditación de vida que activa tu respiración profunda para sostener el ser. Walking like the ancient man is a meditation for life that activates your breathing, your deep breathing, to sustain the being, the being that you are within, the spirit, to sustain the spirit. Walking like the ancient is a meditation for a life that activates your deep breathing to sustain the spirit. And then, who within you chooses? I choose to be the source. I choose to be adaptable. I choose to be safe. I choose to be sweet. I choose to be strong. I choose to be clear. I choose to be. And then we got discern the truth. We got this from yesterday too. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. This creates a whole big drama for nothing, it says. And then we got juega, ríe y baila. Play, laugh, and dance. Feel like it's kind of straightforward. So it's almost like when we encounter these situations that it's almost like they hold the power to make us feel really wonderful, like we kind of become illusioned, right, with the possibilities of a certain experience, that if it happens we think it can make us feel like we're fucking flying and everything's wonderful. But then if it doesn't happen, and on the flip side, then we feel like we fell, like jumped to like the abyss and nothing was there to catch us or anything. So it's like we are putting these situations on pedestal, and often those situations involve other people. So we're putting people on pedestals and we're giving them power over us and our reality and how we feel. So I think this is important. Like, first with the Chapito Barnett, like walking like the ancient man is this ability to see, to perceive the pattern in the situation, maybe how it's similar to something you've lived through. But the important thing isn't that. The important thing is how you are responding to that situation. Are you responding in the same old ways? Like with how we were saying here with the assumptions and stuff, it's like someone, we are so used to, ghosting or blah blah blah, and then someone shows up late to our date or whatever, and we're already like, oh, this person doesn't even care, blah blah blah. We're not even giving them an explanation. We tell them, you know what, don't even show up. We whatever, we act out, and then turns out that they had a flat tire and their phone died and they couldn't let us know, but they hitched a ride and they still want to, whatever, like we're not even giving people a chance to really show how they actually do care, because we're just assuming they don't, we're expecting they don't, and so preemptively we're telling them to go F themselves or like to F off, because we're more focused on protecting those cups than experiencing those cups, right? So in those situations, we're giving them so much power. And what did you want to experience in that day? Did you want to experience joy and connection? Then that is up to you. That isn't up to whether the person really like fully shows up or not, or their reasons, whatever. How are you still acting from that energy? Who within you chooses? I choose to be the source. I choose to be adaptable. I choose to be safe. I choose to be sweet. I choose to be strong. I choose to be clear. I choose to be. I think that brings it back to allow yourselves to be. Because if we ever gave a cup in the first place, it's because we wanted that connection. And that is something deeply that we truly still want. And it's just covered in this idea that what we like, the confusion of I don't want to get hurt. But really, what I want is connection, is love. So allow yourself to show up in that way without expecting anything from another that can make you feel better or worse. Show up as that love, show up as that sweetness, and allow that energy to transform your surroundings, the people that you are around, you know? um, Allow yourself to be almost like a role model to them, to what they are missing. um, when they see your truest expression, it inspires people. So play, laugh, and dance. Juega, ríe y baila, like the paper says. Yeah, okay. So thank you so much, pile one. And now we're moving on to pile two. I hope that resonated. If you were in pile one, please feel free to, jump in the comments. Let me know how it made you feel. This is the first pickup pile reading I do online in video, so I'm excited. So now we're going with pile two. We got the red sesame seeds. Whew. Thank you, ancestors, for that channeling. And now I want to focus on the different and specific energy of pile two and their shadow side. So, first, we got King of Pentacles is what we got for shadow side. Lots of like masculine energy so far, like dominating a bit. So then we got the star. The star for shadow side. And then we got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm using these. Seven of Pentacles. The star. And then we got Quiero un perfume nuevo. I want a new perfume, is what it says. This feels very money related. Very, I'm feeling like maybe this pile has struggled financially in the past, or maybe they came from a family that didn't have it all set financially, or they had it set financially and then stuff happened and then they no longer had access to that financial stability, maybe for a long time, maybe still, I don't know, but it does feel it's like that contributed, that financial instability almost contributed to this like what we already felt like we weren't enough in a way. We tie a lot of our value to our financial stability and the access that we have to money and to, for example, to me, like the star is like this deep healing. It's a deep healing process. But with the King of Pentacles on one side, the Seven of Pentacles on the other, and I want a new perfume, to me it feels like that deep healing that should be treated with love and stuff. It's almost like a hole that we're trying to fill with distractions that come with, being the King of Pentacles, like throwing your money at anything really. Experiences that, it's like when you buy a lot of snacks or something and then you don't even end up eating any of them, but you just have them, or you end up eating all of them and you weren't even hungry, you didn't even really want it. So it's just that emptiness and then filling that void with nothing, because there's no emotional like nurture, there's no healing, there's no love attached to these, to the ability to consume. Consumption and love are not the same thing, and your ability to acquire things for yourself and care for yourself in that way, that doesn't mean that just the acquisition is caring for yourself. So I think it's like drawing that distinction as to like being intentional with what we consume, with what we buy. And also with the Seven of Pentacles, it feels like it's like you're building yourself up. You maybe you had a financial issue and then you built yourself up and you're just barely, kind of getting out, like kind of placing a platform below you, building back up. And but you have this desire to, like, you still tie your value to your ability to purchase things. So then you won't even really care for your money. You won't take care of it and yourself and be clear about what you actually need and how you can use that to care for yourself and heal yourself. You just go ahead and like splurge. And I don't get me wrong, I'm one for splurging. I love thrifting. I love buying snacks. I love my desired substances. I like splurging, but I can tell that a lot of that comes from this anxiety of either moments where I haven't had it or maybe not having it later, and I overeat and stuff out of anxiety. So it's like, how can the I want a new perfume? It's like, that's awesome. Like, get yourself a new perfume, but what could you be getting instead of that? Why do you want a new perfume, right? These questions, just because I want it. It's like people that think that they're putting like doing beauty things, like that the Kardashians like pushed and stuff, that they're doing that because they want to, because that makes them feel good. And I understand and respect that that makes you feel good, but that makes you feel better about yourself because you're still subscribing to a system that it creates a hierarchy of value. And it depends on how close or far away you are to a certain idea within this capitalist system. This capitalist system, the Kardashians, like, just think of them, right now they're like falling and whatever, but they got the money, they got the looks, they got all of those things. And the closer you are to that, the closer you are to perfection. And we understand that they still, even though they are at the peak, they are still chasing this unattainable standard. Um, and they will remain doing that unless they unsubscribe to that. So we are still chasing this unattainable standard, or thinking that just another surgery, another car, another trip, another haircut, hair color, perfume can transform something within us. But it won't. It's temporary satisfaction, um, versus long-term gratification, right? So I guess the shadow side here is like, let's look at our consumption. Why are we consuming what we are consuming? And how do we shift so that our relationship with what we are consuming is one of love, and respect, right? So that can be with anything. There's different kinds of consumptions, right? Like, you know, um, you know, different kinds of consumptions that can be excessive and that maybe give the illusion of healing because it's an immediate gratification, but we know that the high wears off, and we know that the shoes wear off, and we know that things deteriorate. So what doesn't deteriorate? What is something that is resilient? And I think that is love, and having loving relationships with what we consume and who is around us, and just choosing consciously to to put stuff into our body and buy and all of these things, like consume stuff that nurtures us, right? um Saving your money, try it out. So we got, that's the shadow side, and then integrating the shadow side. So we got Communicate with clarity. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. This is how I remember to see each day as a gift. What memories open your eyes and soften your gaze? Torso de luz, una nueva forma de enseñanza espiritual, entre más simple, más esencial. Que corre el aire. Yeah. So, first, the communicate with others as clearly as you can, communicate with clarity. To me, that is first and foremost with yourself. Have honest conversations with yourself about why it is that you're choosing to do whatever it is that you're choosing to do. Why are you choosing to buy yourself a new perfume? Why are you choosing to buy 7 pairs of sandals? Why are you choosing to do whatever it is that you are choosing to do, choosing to intake, consume, whatever? What is the reasoning behind it? What is the intention behind it? And if it's just because it's pretty, because it's nice, because something that's very, there's always something deeper within that. So ask yourself, so that maybe you can be clear with yourself as to what it is that you care about, what it is that you value. And part from that point on, that be the branching out point to decide what it is that you are going to consume, what it is that you are going to buy, what it is that you aren't. So instead of just yéndote como gorda en tobogán, como dicen, instead of just like eating the whole cake and having that's like your cake and eating it too. Like, it's not that consumption is bad. I'm not trying to frame anything as bad. It's just about having clarity with yourself as to why you're choosing what you are choosing. What is the purpose behind it? And is there something else that you could be choosing instead that brings that long term gratification that we were speaking on? So, this one, so this is how I remember to see each day as a gift. To me, that goes hand in hand with the perfume thing, because when we are buying constantly thinking that that can fill a void, it's like sometimes when you sometimes you haven't seen someone for a long time and you're so like having such a great time talking, like just feeling the love, that you even forget to eat, you forget all of these things. So it's like, how do we tap into that energy of like gratitude, of having everything, like I have everything I need, and everything I need comes to me, and I am always satisfied, I'm always full, I'm always complete, I'm always whole. So when we tap directly into that energy of having like this being the gift, this existence, this presence, then we're not even thinking about the perfume. We're not even thinking about what we are lacking, right? So what memories open your eyes and soften your gaze? How can you summon that feeling right now through what you've already experienced? What makes you feel whole, like you're satisfied now, right? And then Torso de Luz, a new form of spiritual teaching. The simpler, the more essential. So yeah, let's get back to the basics, energetic basics. When we when we summon love and feel love within us, feel like it is clearer to see love, what else is embodying love, right? So when you're loving, you can recognize loving. Um, in the example of the perfume, I don't know, this might resonate for someone, but instead of going to Dolce & Gabbana and getting a perfume there, you can go with people in your area who are passionate about plants and their smells, and take the time, the love, the energy, the care for that plant, for understanding its properties, for knowing what you can mix it with, like what it produces, like just that care, attention, understanding for like the product that they are creating, like the spirit they're tending to, and then sharing, right? There's just such a difference between like mass production and like shitty working conditions, etc., that like give you that Dolce & Gabbana perfume, versus something that is just intentional from a place of love. Um, so what you are consuming that as well. Those both of those perfumes carry different energies. So which energy are you choosing, right? Que corre el aire. I think it's like it's almost, yeah, when your house has been like, the doors have been shut, the windows have been shut for a while, and you're just in there like simmering, like just like marinating in all of these things, like advertisements, etc., that are bombarded at you, and these, when you're doom scrolling and you see all these people and their bodies and the fitness and the all of these things are meant to make you feel inadequate so that you consume. It's like, open the windows, let the air in, go out, like receive new energy, open up to receive new energy, and to let go of that lack mentality, mindset, inner feeling. My sister literally just opened the window, but it's cold, so close it. But you get what I mean. So yeah, let the new energy flow in, and let yourself care about new stuff that builds you up, builds others up, instead of dragging us down and reminding us of how we are not enough. Okay, thank you, pile two. Remember that is red sesame. Thank you for um, tuning in and listening to that. Um, I relate to that too, and it's so beautiful because these readings that I'm doing, I'm sharing them, and my intention is to share them with people that are to a degree in similar cycles to the ones I'm in, because I believe I'm not gonna tell you anything you don't already know. Same goes for me, right? So it's a reminder of our power, and so it's beautiful to be able to see myself so clearly in these files, and like try and shift into new energy with you. So we got pile number 3, peperoncini. Slay it out. So shadow side, please ancestors, allow me to focus on this energy that is very specific to pile 3 and whoever's viewing this and myself. So let's tap into this very clear, distinct energy of pile 3 and their shadow side. So we got the Page of Pentacles. We got the Devil. Hello. We got the King of Wands. He came out yesterday too. King of Wands. And we got Te recuerda a ti. There's this feeling, this feeling for some reason, like imposter syndrome type thing. So with the Page of Pentacles, I'm feeling like it's someone that is an apprentice, right? And at the end of the day, even a king of Pentacles is an apprentice, even a Queen of Pentacles. We're always learning and growing. But this feels like feeling like you are forever an apprentice in a way that you don't take your gifts, your knowledge, your experience seriously. You If someone else came to you and told you the exact same background that you have, you would recognize them and value them and clap for them, but you don't see those same accomplishments as accomplishments like within yourself. You don't see them as enough, or you feel like it just there's this level of like distance from you and your accomplishments as if they weren't your own, as if you weren't the person that learned all of that, did whatever you needed to do to make that happen. um there's this, I think it's tied to this like the devil in the sense of like what we were saying of the shadow side, like these aspects of yourself. It's like you believe that because you're not, this angelic being, and I don't know, like this good pure person, that somehow you are misleading people, and that you trick them into believing that you are who you say you are, and that you are what your experience shows. It's as if you and your experience were separate beings, as if your work, the stuff you've done, as if you were not that, just not because you aren't that and because you didn't do that, but because you identify more with something being almost like wrong with you in comparison to others, and therefore like you are a trickster, like misleading. um because then we got the King of Wands, and so it's like there is this like position of power, but I don't know why in my head the King of Wands is feeling almost like mischievous, like like there's another word, it's like like when you are indulging a lot in like pleasures and just just carnal stuff of the flesh, but you're still in a position of power. So it's like when we see people in positions of power but we don't trust them, we then find out a lot of horrible stuff about them. And then we wonder why they were put in those positions in the first place, and then we realize those entire institutions are built up with that energy. But and you see them and you judge them and you reject them, but at the same time a part of you sees yourself in them, and so you want to distance yourself from them by judging them and talking shit about them, but then you are internally judging yourself for feeling like you are in some way similar to them. I think in this occasion, because I don't know who's in front, like watching this, we have to be honest with ourselves, right? We have to be honest with ourselves about that shadow side and about integrating it. To me, as long as you are not harming another, as long as your power does not come from another's oppression, um, you are worthy of love. You're always worthy of love. And the way in which I just spoke, it seems like people who harm aren't worthy of love, but they are. We've all just been misled in different ways and have acted in ways that harm others because we have, I think, forgotten about our own power to a degree. So I think, in part, we have to stop judging them. We have to see them through those eyes, right? Of like, it does not mean to approve of their actions or to um, ignore the harm they've done or the harm you've done. I think it means accountability, and yet love goes hand in hand with that. So if you feel like you are uncomfortable with ways in which you've acted, and therefore you don't recognize the 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 good you bring, the love you bring, your the value, your value as a being that comes here to transform and push towards love in direct and indirect ways, known and unknown to you. I think it calls for some gentleness, for some acceptance, some true acceptance. What you did is already done. So, who are you now? What are you committing to? Embrace yourself now. And just the fact that you care about showing up lovingly or not showing up in these ways, I, in my eyes, that's already valuable. Because even if it comes directly from your ego and trying to be seen as a good person, at least you're not harming others. At least you're letting other people do live their lives, in peace, joyfully. And you deserve that too. So that ego work is like necessary, Let's see what the integrating says about this pile. Whew, this is my prayer for evolution. Learn to ask questions. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you're here, the answer to a question, you won't have to make assumptions because you know the truth. I think this goes hand in hand with transforming this energy of like the imposter syndrome, asking questions. Because when we feel like we're an imposter, we feel like we should pretend. And so oftentimes we'll act as if we already know what someone's talking about, or as if whatever this that goes into pretending that you are what you want them to think that you are. But you are who you are, and you are there for a reason. So be honest in your presence, be honest with yourself, show up truthful. um if you don't know something, say you don't know, ask, be thankful that you now know, be thankful that someone else does know, because it's not about being perfect, right? I think it's about your intention, and if there can be collaboration to bring that in, then awesome. This is my prayer for evolution also. It's like if you're still finding yourself uncomfortable in your body because of who you've been, who you are still occasionally, and I mean that in the ways like what you act, how you act towards others, towards yourself. Your prayer, your like this is my prayer for evolution. This is my prayer to transform, to anchor into that person, that persona that I also know lives within me, that wants to be loving and gentle. And I can do that whether I'm into kinky stuff or not, whether I'm into something that other people perceive that as dark or as wrong or not. As long as you are not harming others without their consent, as long as your power doesn't come from the oppression of another, I think you are worthy of living the reality that you desire. And if you see someone else living that out, believe that you are capable as well. There are no imposters. If you're an imposter, they're an imposter, right? So then the last one, UFO, ríete, que va en serio. I love these cards. It says laugh because it's gonna get serious. So it's like, to me, the laughing is almost like, it's like a portal, like a timeline shift that integrates you, integrates those aspects, those shadow sides, and that person that you want to be perceived as, that is angelic and pure and good and stuff. It's like the laugh almost like integrates you as a whole. And so you are in front of your future and you decide what you want to commit to. So that imposter syndrome, what does that role ask of you? Is that something that you desire? If you desire that, you most likely can enact that and can embody that. So it's like laugh, believe that you are worthy, recognize what you've done, what you continue to do, and what your intentions are, and allow yourself to transform. Pray for that evolution to integrate those aspects and to really cement and give your body to that loving energy that you desire to embody. So believe the laugh, because it's going to get serious. Believe that exactly where you want to be will be where you will be, and allow yourself to be that person that you are. Stop negating who you are just because it is more than what you've shown yourself to be. You don't have to be. Show everyone who you are, but you can show yourself and be honest with yourself and show up believing yourself worthy of the experiences you desire. And then you got en 3 meses. That's kind of crazy. That's in 3 months. So it seems like for this pile, this shadow side integration, this wholeness, recognizing that you are whole, seems like the more you pray for evolution, tap into that energy, seems like your reality is going to change like really quickly in the next 3 months, and that you're just going to be exactly where you want to be. That to you right now, or maybe before this reading, felt a bit unattainable. You are gonna be that. Are you ready? Ríete, que va en serio. Laugh, because it's serious. This truly is changing. So who needs to believe in you the most is yourself. Believe yourself capable of this, and believe in your intentions, and allow your actions to transform to reflect that, because it's gonna get real for you. So yeah. Okay, this was pile number 3. Wow, that was really intense, beautiful message that also resonates, like all of them do, because we're all in this. Like, if you're here, we're in this together. It's not like I'm not living through this stuff myself. So I'm just gonna pull one card for closing from this Don Lauro, and this is for all of us. It's a collective closing message to integrate our shadow side. Oh, we got this one yesterday too. That's beautiful, because this was literally the closing card for yesterday's reading. Caballero Águila. El guerrero debe estar en todo momento, en el momento de la vida, en el momento de la muerte. So the warrior must be present in every moment, in the moment of life, in the moment of death. I think it's again like the energy yesterday. It's like, if we have to be able to perceive our shadows, like perceive those aspects of ourselves that we keep hidden from ourselves, because we're committed to viewing ourselves as a good person, and we are limiting the qualities that fit within that category. So first we need to be able to observe what it is that is hidden, and then bring it bring it to our own awareness, right? And then decide what we're going to kill and what we're going to nurture, what seed we're planting, what we are feeding life into, so that our intentions manifest clearly in our 3D reality, in this plane of existence, and all of them as well, the ones that are out of our perception too. So remember, the warrior must be present at all times, in the moment of life and in the moment of death. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. I'm gonna try and keep posting very frequently. And if you like this reading, if you want a private reading, feel free to hit me up. My email will be in the description. If it isn't in the description, it's in my channel description. So thank you so much for being here and have a good day.